because of climate change. I can't farting in the fields all day. I causing too many hurricanes. Hello, all you beautiful people. Welcome back to short little live stream with you guys real quick. Just wanted to give you a real quick update about what's going on in the Rob Lane world. So we've got some awesome stuff that's happening this month. What a great way to start off the new year with some climate change, right? Yeah, you know what? You and me, we're going to be the only ones that laugh about that because you guys get the inside joke on that one. But hey, the new song, Climate Change, is coming out this month. And in just a few minutes, I'm going to tell you how you can get early access and free access to that song. But let's dig a little deeper. I had mentioned on a previous post that on the 30th of December, we were going to have an extravaganza of Scott McKay, Ann Vandersteel, Pete Santilli, Kevin Hoyt, and a bunch of other guys. Well, it just so happened that at the last minute got pushed to the 30th of this month. So you want to make sure you tune in on your favorite channel, Rumble, or wherever you listen to those podcasts at. It's going to be an epic, and chances are I'm going to be there for that one. So anyway, that's that. I have with me a special guest today, my production manager, Brian Bowermaster. And I'm going to shoot over to him real quick. Brian, if there's anything that I've actually forgotten to mention, please bring it up so I can mention it to the folks.
Will do. As Rob said, hello, beautiful people. We do have some beautiful things going on, and it's exciting. And wow, I just got to say, I'm really grateful to be part of this project. I mean, this man is talented. If I might just edify him a little bit, it's amazing the things that have been coming out. And wait, you guys are gonna love what is coming down the pike. I'm just saying that. I'm a little biased, but I am a fan, so I can't deny it. You guys gotta be ready for climate change. It's just gonna be so exciting. And not only is it gonna be available, but we have something special for those of you who are supporters in the Rob Lane gang. It's going to be available to you early release at no extra charge because you're already supporting the musical mission. It's going to be available for download in the Rob Lane gang on January 8th. Now, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Rob Lane gang, all you got to do is go to locals.com/Rob Lane gang. I think that's how you can search for it. Still a little new to that community. I've known of it for quite some time, but we are now using it for the music platform, and it's awesome. Lots of cool stuff already happening in there. Go over there and become a supporter. You can get early access and get climate change right then. Also, the music video is going to be coming shortly after. Rob, tell me a little bit. Can you just share with us what are your feelings on the music video so far?
I believe the music video is an excellent portrayal of absolute idiocy. I believe that we have done our very best to really put one over on AOC and with her idea of cows farting in the fields. So hey, you know what? It's a beautiful, beautiful message with it's going to keep you rolling, all the way through. Because yeah, and the video is well, you know what? I don't think it'll be too much out of our way because you're going to be able to see clips. Brian's going to put you some clips out there anyway. You know what I did, and don't think I'm standing out there in the in front of this barn in my underwear because that's not the case. Actually, those are my pajama bottoms, but my wife begs to differ, but those are my pajama bottoms, and I decided to wear that with a Beethoven T-shirt. And I don't think you can see Beethoven on the T-shirt itself, but I've got a tie on, my hat, and my boots, and so we're dancing and we're just cutting the full. That's my son, by the way, Jacob, in the video, and with me because I know he was nutty enough to get out there and help me do it. So we had a lot of fun doing it, and we're just going to pass that fun right on to you folks.
Oh, that is awesome. I was gonna see just if it was possible, if I was gonna try to sneak in a photo there that you gave me, just to give people a preview of that. It may be possible while we share a little bit more. So obviously the music video is an inspiration. It's going to be coming out shortly after the song release on the 8th. And then of course the song will be available to everyone later on down the road once the video's out on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, anywhere, Deezer, all the popular places you get your music. Can you give us a little more insight into why did you make this song, Rob? What was the point of Climate Change?
You know, I think I found my own niche and genre here because even though I love country, I grew up listening to the '90s. I think one thing that Dale Morris in Nashville always told me, he said, "There's two things you don't do in music. One of them is you don't introduce politics." Okay, well, I'm not, I'm doing it. Climate change is politics. I can't help it. Now,
Right.
a county grand jury, totally different. That's not politics, folks. That's something totally different. But climate change is all politics. So hey, you know what? If you want to attack us with taxes, with fake taxes on crap, so we can have smaller footprints and not buy as much because we can't afford it anymore, by God, I'm gonna come back at you with a song. So and so I mean, that's my thoughts behind climate change, and and I've got another one that we are going to be working on. It's going to be a little further down the road, but I've got another one, and I used it kind of it's almost like an autobiography a little bit, but it's called Gimme Gimme Society. And it's something that, I talk about my grandfather in there and the staples that he instilled in me and my brother growing up. And, and the tag of the song is, and avoid this gimme gimme society. And so, that's going to be a fun song too. And it's going to hurt some feelings, but hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to stamp the grapes to make a good wine.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I'm glad that you said that. And by the way, super excited I got it here. Let me just pop in here. I was trying to do that on the fly. So you guys check this out. This is just a nice little, Rob, you won't be able to see this on the feed, but I wanted everyone else to enjoy this. This is what he's talking about right there. And this is just a little bit of preview of the humor that you're about to see coming up in this video. It's super exciting. So do you have any final remarks on the video, the release? What else is coming? Obviously, there are several other songs that you guys are going to just absolutely love of what's coming. But any final remarks?
well, yeah, I mean, we could just mention, as I had told you folks, I've told some folks, I don't know if everybody's aware, but I'm not going to get into thick detail on this because I don't know how much that I'm really allowed to say. And hopefully I won't get the full throttle hammer of truth over my head. But my brother Scott McKay had asked me to write a Patriot Street Fighter song, and I did so. And it's called "Stirring Up the Storm." And he's just approved it. He's got the full audio. We've finished it, and he and Brian are going to be working together on putting together a video for that. So you can expect that probably next month. So that's something to look forward to as well.
It is good, guys. It is good. I got to tell you, Rob and the team did amazing on this.
So, just real quick on climate change, because I probably don't know if I'll get a chance, and I'm always forgetting to do this. I wanted to give a quick shout out to my wife, Lori. Thank you. And my daughter, Casey Lane. Thank you. My son, Jacob, and his wife, Kirsten. They helped me get out there and film a whole day on a farm and made it all happen. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And I want to say thank you to all the fans. and thank you for your support. And once again, as Brian said, if you come over to the Rob Lane Gang and you sign up and you help support you, those whatever support you give, that goes to like our recording, goes to making new videos, and that's just what it's our passion. It's what we do, and we want to keep giving it to you. And so just want to say thank you.
So I'm just going to put at the screen, just in case you guys are interested. We'll include it in the description as well, so you guys know how to get there. I just found, it looks like the link structure is a little bit different than I was thinking. So if you guys can bear with me, and we're going to have Rob share just a little bit more about his history and in the music industry, for those of you that may not know him that well, as we get, and what the purpose of this music mission is, I think is extremely important. Do you mind sharing that a little bit of that with us, Rob, while I pull this up here?
So I'm from South Georgia, as I'd stated, most everybody knows. And I was living down here, and I was in my early 20s, and just so happens I had started buying a house over in Waycross, Georgia, not too far from where I live. And the old house that I bought was an old bungalow, but it had beside it an old barber shop. And when I got there, I'm telling you, I mean, the kitchen roof was falling in. It was a bad house. Anyway, I got in there and redid that. I'm getting off track here. But anyway, the old barber shop we turned into a band room. And I kid you not, my musicians that played with me at the time lived right around the area, so they didn't have far to go. So we got together like every Friday or night, every Saturday night. We just played music, had a really good time. And there came a time when I was like, you know what, guys? I said, I'm not getting any younger. I said, I'm gonna try to make the Nashville thing, see if it happens, see what happens. So I took off. Didn't necessarily go to Nashville. It didn't work out quite that way, but it did in a roundabout way, because I moved to West Virginia, went to work at the Nicholas County landfill. And little did I know, only about 10 miles down the road from the landfill, there was a beautiful manor that sat on top of a hillside overlooking the Gauley River. And there was a caretaker that run that home, and the caretaker happened to come up to the landfill one day, and I had passed out CDs to all of the guys that I worked with up there that we had made down here in Georgia before I'd moved up there. And he ran out there and he said, hey man, you need to listen to this. So his name was Brent. Brent ran out there and handed it to the guy. Guy took it home, listened to it, and then the next day he was back. And he was like, hey man, I need you to come by the house real quick. I said, okay. So I went by this big old beautiful manor and went inside. And so I went, sat down at an old upright piano that when it was out of tune, played on it for a little bit. And they were like, the two gentlemen in there were like, you know what? We got to get you something recorded and get it up to Dale. And I'm like, who's Dale? And they said, Dale Morris. Kenny Chesney, Gretchen Wilson, Big and Rich, Alabama. He started Alabama's whole career. Dale Morris. I didn't know who he was, but I did. Because 2 weeks later, I was in Nashville and I was recording an album. We flew down to Tybee Island, Georgia, from Nashville, put a baby grand piano right there on the beach. And we shot a video called The Best Is Yet to Come, and that's still available on YouTube. You can actually watch that. We shot that, and in 2013, 2 weeks before I was to premiere on GAC's Backstory, and that's Great American Country Television, for those of you that might not know. I got a phone call from Dale saying that the record label had filed bankruptcy and that I was off the label. They moved a bunch of people around, and I didn't get moved around. I just got dropped. But he said he was going to go. He said, don't worry about it, Rob. I'm going to go and talk to some of the other guys at the other labels, because I know everybody here. I said, all right. So he went around to Curve and Warner Brothers and Sony and all the ones you can imagine. And they all had the same story for him, that he's got a great voice. He still has a great look. He's got a song that's going to hold on the charts for months. But problem is, Dale, he's 35 years old. Sorry, it's past the industry standard. So I'd kind of just given up on music at that point. Just done with it. You know, I'd done little things here and there between until I joined Tactical Civics. And when I did that, I told our founder at the time, I said, I want to write us a song. And he said, okay. So I did. And there you have County Grand Jury. But now, because I'm not interested in a record label, I'm not interested in all of the finer things of life. Now, I just want to create music and put it out there. And if something becomes of it, it's because you, the people, decided it was good enough to be heard and to have in your collection. And it's something my children will have, you know, the music as well. Something to pass down to my children. So.
Thank you for sharing that. Amazing. You know, I love hearing your story every time, but it's just awesome. Now you guys, as you can see, got down below, roblanegang.locals.com. That's how you can become supporters. And, you know, I could share a little bit about this, about what that does too. And we're going to be releasing more of what Rob has already expressed from his heart, what the point of this is. What's the point of supporting a music artist like Rob? I'll tell you what, it's really, really amazing. And I just want to edify the mission because I've been watching it come about, and this man's heart and what he's doing and what God's doing with him. And there is something extraordinarily powerful about music, and especially country music, I think, and what it does for humanity, how it allows the message to get out there. And you know, Rob, is it correct that the point is to not only help restore our country and the values thereof, but you also mentioned something about restoring country music. What did you mean by that? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, and in all reality, I want to get the steel guitar players and the fiddle players off of the welfare lines and put them back to work. Yeah, I mean that's. You know, and it's back when we didn't, you know, there's a defining difference in just a good solid country that talks about, and thank God there's some artists today that are actually coming back on the scene that are getting those boys off the welfare lines. And so I'm glad to see that, and kudos to them for that. But there's a defining difference in country, and because it tells a story, and you should be able to feel it in each note, in each movement. There should be the words and the lyrics that are so powerful and come from the heart that they reach out and grab you and they draw you in, whether that makes you laugh or whether it makes you cry, sad, whether it makes you happy, whether it makes you roll in the floor like climate change. But that is the purpose. And I think that we've lost that vision, and for a long time now, we've just lost our vision because everybody's writing about, I'm sitting on the back of a pickup truck with a beer in my hand, and I mean, this is the common thread. And if you'll take it back and you go back, and whether you're from whether you maybe some of you that are listening are too young to remember, but most of you aren't. If you go back and listen to some of the '90s country music, it's powerful. A lot of that music was because it told a story, and it not only told the story, but it would reach within you. And that's why there's so, Austin was telling me a couple days ago, he said, the Garth Brooks is one of the highest selling albums. It's the second highest selling album in the United States. And the Beatles are number 3. I can't remember who he said number 1 was now. It wasn't Elvis, by the way. But But yeah, that's what he said, man. And I was like, you know what? It says a lot. It really does. It says a lot. Did I
Well,
answer the question?
you absolutely did. Thanks for sharing. And on that note, you got any last remarks?
I don't. I am good to go, man.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say the line for you since you didn't say it this time. You guys, if you think we're at all a little off our rocker or we're a little nuts, well, I guess we'll just blame it on climate change.
My baby left because of climate change. I can't farting in the fields all day.
And music's playing.
Causing too many hurricanes. I'm down in Florida. So many unnatural events. And all because old Betsy broke wind.
And we're on the ending screen. Thank you guys for listening.